Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Today I'm going to be doing the next 6 stages, that's stages 57 to 62 of the Agora models and Hachette Partworks release and build the RMS Titanic. So at this stage in the build, we've actually got parts everywhere. I mean, we're going to be doing the funnel now, and that's going to be going to the funnel deck, which we created in the last pack. But down on the floor here, we've got tons of stuff we've already done. In fact, look behind me, just lying down under this Titanic. Oh, where's my thing there? We've got the deck of the Titanic we're building now, so it's all over the place in the workshop. So many parts to get, but hopefully we're going to start putting all these stuff together. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, this is available through Hachette Partworks in the UK. Alternatively, this one is available from Agora models over in the US and Canada, and you can get this by following the link here and in the video description, and you can start all the way from pack 1. But without further ado, let's get cracking. So here's the magazine. Let's have a flick through. As you can see here, stories about the Titanic, and we're going to be building the 4th funnel now. Now we've done 3 funnels in the past, so hopefully this should be a breeze to go through. But once we've actually done the funnel, as I said before, we do need what we created last time, because we're going to be putting this into place on that base. So I've just taken the top off of this and pulled out the insides where we've got some ladders and stuff in there, so that's now hollow. And the first thing we're actually going to do is just put this metal sleeve around this plastic section here. And it goes on just like that there. Now we're holding this in with silver screws, but the silver screws only go in 3 places each side. So let's get them in. Now these silver screws, as you can see here, absolutely tiny. Look at that. And the big shock about these is, look, a PHO screwdriver can actually hold these tiny screws. Okay. If we start on this side here, the first silver screw is just going into the hole just at the end here. So I've lined up one side and I'll get that first one in just like that. We're going to miss a hole and then go to the next hole down. So this one's going in here. And then finally we're going to miss another hole, and this is just going to go into this one just here. So that's in place. All I'm going to do is the same on the other side. And when they're all in place, they should look just like that. We now need the stay collar, and that's going to go onto the funnel here. And it's just going to slide down that section there, so it's fitting nice and flush. And then turning it around, so we've got these 3 dots. I want to match these 3 dots up with this side of the funnel and put these into place like that. So as you can see, this is all now in one line like that. Now, I'm going to be using my new glue for this. And the first thing I want to do is just put this little platform into this area here and glue that into place. So I'm going to do that now. And that's in place. Then these pipes here, we want the pipe which has got some holes in the top, which we're going to actually glue this pipe with pegs in there. Again, I'm just going to put some glue just on these pegs and push this into place, and that should look like that. And then once we've done that, this is going to be going just into the holes on this side of the funnel. So again, I'm going to be putting some glue just on these tabs. It's a lot neater putting the glue on with a brush, I have to say. So there you go, that's in place. Then on the outside of everything we created there, we've got these ladders to go in place, which are going to go in kind of like this. And they're going into the holes on each side. So once again, I'm just going to drop some glue just onto the end here and on each of these tabs. And I'll get this in. And that's in place. I'm just holding it in until that's set. Perfect. And then on the other side here, the last pipe to go in looks like this. Once again, bit of glue just on the ends. And then that one's just going on this side here. And again, hold that into place. So that is the next funnel completed. All I'm going to do is put the interior of the funnel inside. Remember, this funnel doesn't actually smoke. We had one funnel which didn't do anything. Make sure this fits in all the way in here. It goes in like that. And then all we have to do is just put the top on. The top goes with the detail parts facing towards the ladder. So this is just going to go on this way up the top here. They do want us to hold this in place temporarily with a bit of masking tape. Just seeing how this fits in. I think it'll actually stay put itself, as you can see. So I'm not going to need to do that. But that's the funnel done. Let's put that to one side. We have got some AP screws in this pack, which I'm just going to get open now. This is the funnel deck here. And I'm going to put this in place. So the ladder side of this goes towards the details we've already put in. It's going to go on like that, held in from the underside with these AP screws. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 58, here's the magazine. Keep turning. No idea what we're actually doing, but it looks like we've got another deck to do. We've got some decking to put in place on here and some details to put on top. Lots of details to put on top, including some benches and a lot more decking. So by the end of it, it's going to look just like this. Wow. So here's the parts for stage 58. I'll get these open. And the first thing we want to do, the decking's already in place here, but it does need to be stuck down. So I'll take the adhesive off the back and get this stuck to the deck. Perfect. There we go. That is on just like that. So the first funnel that's going on looks just like that. That's going to go into this point here. The lugs do dictate which way round it goes in. So it's going to go in just like that. And these need to be glued into place. Now the second funnel that we've got looking like that. Again, I already put some glue on here. This is just going to go into the front there. Like that. We've got two vents to put into place, which are just going into the holes either side here. So one that side. And one on the other side to make sure that these sections here are facing outwards. And then we've got a whole heap of benches to put on. And they go into these slots here. So what I'm going to do is, again, just tap some glue at the bottom of these. And get all of these benches into place. I think what I'll do is I'll put them on and then show you what they look like. But that's one bench in there. Even though they gave us loads of benches, I've just realised that, let's get this one on, there's only two benches on this platform we're putting in. So I can do this without doing an edit or a cut. And that's both of the benches in place. Now this is going to be fun, because I've got to bring down the whole deck we've been working on previously. And that looks just like this. Look, it's ginormous. But it's this area I'm interested in, because we are going to be putting a bit of dust on there. Let me just get that off. The next part of decking down, which is going to go just as a dry fit over the top here, like this. So, I'm going to get that into place. Making sure everything lines up there. That's gone on perfect. And I'm going to be putting 4 benches just around this central area here. And there you go. That's all the benches in place, and that's all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 59, again, here's the magazine. Good flick through there. And we're going to be doing some lifeboats and davits for the port side. So 4 of these to do by the look of it. We're going to be putting the davits in place as well. So by the end, it's looking just like this. So all about the lifeboats in this stage. So all I'm going to do is I'll do one. And show you what I'm doing is I'm just putting the tarpaulin over the top here. Then I'm going to be getting the block gear parts for each lifeboat and pushing them down. So they're going to fit in just like that. Do the other side. And that's how one of these look. Do that 3 more times. And there you go. All 4 of those are completed. Let's put them to one side. bring over the deck again. And we've got some vents to put into place. And we're interested in this part of the deck here, which is the boat deck. And I'm going to be putting the first vent. And the vent is just going to go into this part just here. So get that in. I have put glue again at the bottom of that, and that's the vent in place just like that. We've got the tall cowl looking like that, which is going to go into the hole next to it over this side, so that it's pointing in the direction overlooking this deck. And then finally, the last one here is just going on the other side just here. And again, make sure that's all glued in. I'll put that to one side again because I'm going to be making these davits. So I need the one that's got the holes like this going on this side. I'm just going to do a dry fit to show you how this fits. And then on the other side, it's the ones that have got them perpendicular to the ones we've just put in, which are going to go in here like that. So I'm going to make some of these first. And there we go. That's 3 of these created. And then the last 2 are just going to go singularly on these here. So again, bit of glue. I want one on this side here. And I want the same for the other side, but facing the opposite way to close it off. So it's going to go on this way here. Like that. So if this large lug at the back is going towards that way, as you can see, we've got 2 that are facing completely opposite directions. Okay, bring over the deck again. I've just taken these parts out for a second while I'm working on this, but it's this section here that I want to work on first. And these are just going to be going into the holes here, and I've got to glue them into place. So 3 of these, and then at either end we're closing them out with these ones here. So this one this side, and this one just into this side here. Excellent. So that is looking just like that. Perfect. Now we do have a bag of screws in here, but we're not using them in this stage because that is all there is to do in this stage. So in stage 60 here, again, this is the magazine. Flick through, and we got a cabin here that we're going to be putting some more of these windows on, which we had left over from one of the other packs. So we get all of these in place, put some decking on that, so at the end looks like that. So here's the windows that we had left from issue 51. Going to put these around this section here, so that should leave 2 windows on there, a bigger one and a smaller one there. Now the tiniest bit of glue just around the outside. And I will get these in. So you need a steady hand and tweezers for this. And put them in like that. Let's continue doing this for these 7 windows. And when all the windows are in, it should look like that. Now also in stage 51 we had these grills left over, so let me get these off. The grills are just going to face these areas just here. So once again, just some glue around the border. Just enough to hold this in. Put the first grill in place. So it looks like that. Hopefully that's not washed out enough that you can see that. Okay, do the second one. Perfect. There you go. Now we've got a couple of bulkheads to put on, which look like this. These are just going into this area here. So once again, glue at the ready. The closed side should be towards the top. And that will also dictate which way round they go. So it's going to be going in this way here. Push these into position. 1, 2. So they look like that. Do the same on the other side. And there you go. Perfect. Now I've got some deck, which is going to go on the top here. So we want to line all of these holes up with the holes at the top. It's only a small bit of deck, so this should be quite easy to actually apply. Just like that. It really does kick off the amount of detail we're just doing in one part. And we've got some tiny little deck just to go on these bulkheads here. Now you want to make sure it's facing the same direction. The planks are facing the same direction as the other planks there. So if I was to put this one on sort of like this position here, they'll be facing sideways. So that's the wrong way. They need to go on like this. So one there and one on the other side. Excellent. We're going to be putting the engine house on top of this. There are two different sizes on the lugs here, so I will just dot some glue just on these tabs here. Line up the holes to the bigger lug there and then push that into position. Excellent. So that's that on. And then we've got two vents to put on. So I'm just putting the glue on here on each side. So one here. And one on the other side. These are very detailed parts, these are. Make sure they're straight. Perfect. I then want to place these two parts together. Again, I'm going to be putting a little bit of glue just on the tab here. And if you're unsure which way round this goes, it's got a D-shaped hole, so it will only let you put it in one way. So I'll get this in. It goes into the side of this section just here. Give it a good push in. Excellent. We can actually just put this to one side now. Bring over the main deck. And it's this area right at the end that I'm interested in now. I'm going to be putting two benches just onto each side here. And there you go. That's those two benches on. And we've got lots of other things here. Some pipes. The thing we just created there. I don't know what half of this stuff is. Look at it all. But we're not actually using that in this stage because that is all there is to do in the stage. So stage 61 here. Here's the magazine. Final lifeboats. So lots of lifeboats to put together. We've got some light blocking to do as well. So it looks like we're going to be working on this area, doing the light blocking inside this little cabin that we created here. As you can see, it looks like we're doing some lighting and putting some lighting in here. Lots to do in this stage. Look at this. Oh my god. We're actually fitting the funnel deck as well. Looks like we're doing some more davits. Oh my god, that's a big stage. So it's looking like that. So bringing the deck down again. Now we've got these little adhesive squares here. The first square I'm going to be putting on is onto just this boat deck here that we've been creating. It needs to go above that bulb that we've got in there. I'm guessing that bulb's far too bright, so this is going to deaden that down like that. We do have another one to put in on this exposed bulb over here. So I'm going to get that one in as well. And that's just going to make the light less visible. We do have quite a few more on here. Going to keep them safe. Just put this to one side and bring over this cabin we've been working on because we do have everything in here to light block this off. So in the instructions it tells you exactly where everything goes. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to start putting this in. We have done this once before on this build, just so you can see how it goes. So this has got the two windows on here. This is going to go in this side. Let's hold it on the other side here. Slide that in. Very tricky, but there we go. That's one side in, just like that. I'm going to continue that, light blocking everything on this section. Now we do have loads of light blocking left on this for another part, but as you can see, that's all completed inside there. Excellent. Bringing over the main deck. This can now go into position just here. Making sure everything's lined up. And I've got these silver HP screws here, which we're going to screw this in with. just from the other side. Hard to show you because I don't want to turn this completely over, because if I was to do that I might break some of the davits I put on there. So it's just two of these, one here. There you go, I've turned it more on its side now, so you should be able to see that, and just one here. Make that nice and tight. Excellent. So that's in place. Like that. This section here, which we had the funnel deck in, again we're going to be putting light block all the way around using what we have left on this. This takes so long to do. Lining everything up, making sure it doesn't stick until you've got it in the perfect place that you need it. But yeah, take your time at this section. Because if you don't, you're going to have light bleed, and it's not going to look very good. I would so love to tell you how easy that is, but yeah, that took me a while. So, bringing over this deck, we're going to now mount the funnel to this deck. Now, it goes this way round, so we're going to feed that wire through there. So then this sits perfectly on this deck, just like that. That looks good. I'm going to hold this in place with some of these AP screws. And it's going to take 4 of these. So I'll get all 4 into these positions here. All that's left to do then is to position this onto this section here. We want this cable to be going through this hole just here. And then sit that into position like this. Once again, it's going to be held in with AP screws from the other side. This time 6 AP screws. So I'm just going to get 1 in to hold that into place. I'll put 1 in on the other side as well. And I should be able to just show you, I'm being very gentle how I'm turning this over. This plug is going to plug into here. So I'll get that in now. Just like that, all the way. And I'm just going to put the last of the AP screws in here as well. Now as I'm putting these last ones in, it is asking you to test the electrics. I've already done that, so I'm going to save that till the end now. We've got lots of these davits to make again. Now we've done this previously, so I'm going to make these so you can see what these look like. And it's exactly like last time. We made 3 of these, and then we made 2 of the end ones like this. Once again, bring the deck over, but this time we're working on the other side, and we're just going to mirror exactly what we've done from this side over on this side here. And there you go. They're all in place on both sides. I can put this to one side. So just like last time, I'm going to be taking the lifeboats, putting the tarpaulin over the top, and putting these through to lock this into place. Exactly like we did in the previous stages where we did this. So I'm going to get on with this now. Now we do have some lifeboats that we had from issue 50 that we need to put 2 more of these tarpaulins in. They gave us the 2 spare here. So we've got to do those. And we've also got these lifeboats in this stage, which basically, when we put the tarpaulin on top, it just clips into place. So there's no gears to put in on the end there. So that's 1. And that one's 2. So I've just gathered up all these boats. I'm going to keep these safe in one place because there's one last thing I need to do. And that's, we've got this cover here, which is just going to go into the main deck, just into this hole just here. So get that in. Make sure that's in securely. And that is definitely all there is to do in that massive stage. So check this out. This is something we haven't seen for a long time, isn't it? We're going to need this now because in the final stage here, stage 62, flick through the magazine. As you can see, we're going to be doing another piece of the hull here. So we haven't done that for ages. Nice simple one to finish off. So let's do that now. Now I said the hull, but this is actually the keel. So we're going to be extending onto this heel section. Let's just bring this over. And as you can see, all I'm going to do is just drop this into place over where it's going, just like that. Now that's held in with IM screws. Now I am doing the instructions slightly backwards because I want to get this keel section in just to add a tiny bit of stability to it before I do the last section on here. So let's get these in. One in here, make it nice and tight. I'm using my PH1 screwdriver to put this in. And number 2 there. The only thing I have left to do is to put this section in here. It's going to go just on this side, the port side here, and that's held in with the AM screws. Need 2 of these. It goes on that way. And get this nice and tight. That's 1. And this one's 2. I'm guessing this is a support to hold the deck. But that's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. You know what? I love these ship builds. There's just a crazy, insane amount of things to do. And I said, the amount of things that I've got in my box down there, I think once the ship is finished, it's going to be like a doll's house. I'm going to be dressing it with the lifeboats and stuff like that. It's going to be interesting to see how this actually pans out in the end. But if you like what you see and you want to get this for yourself, I've put a link down here to the Hachette Partworks and Agora Models websites, and you can get this all the way from pack 1. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.